Updates on injuries to the Detroit Lions, hope for Montgomery, imminent return for Melifonwu, and bad news for Kaminsky. Before we start with another big urgent update, please like the video to strengthen our work. We will bring you all the latest updates. Take the opportunity to subscribe because with your subscription, we will be able to keep you updated with all the news from the Detroit Lions. Help our channel reach its first goal of 1,000 subscribers. Can I count on your like and subscription? Now, stay with me until the end, and let's get to the news. The Detroit Lions are in a tough spot this season, dealing with a roster impacted by injuries, but with some updates that bring hope and challenges. Among the highlights are the cases of running back David Montgomery, safety Melifonwu, and defensive lineman John Kaminsky. While Melifonwu's return seems imminent, Montgomery is still looking for alternatives to get back on the field, and Kaminsky faces a frustrating end to 2024. David Montgomery, a key player in the Lions' running attack, suffered a torn medial collateral ligament during the loss to the Buffalo Bills in Week 15. Despite initial fears that he would not return this season, Montgomery has given fans reason to believe he will return. On Tuesday, he participated in a code drive in Detroit and shared encouraging details about his recovery. Montgomery said he has not yet been placed on the injured list because he is seeking a third medical opinion, evaluating the possibilities before making a final decision. "I am alive and well," the player said, reinforcing his optimism. He mentioned that logistics are in place and suggested that the situation could change. Regarding the possibility of returning this season, Montgomery said, "I hope so." Head coach Dan Campbell also confirmed the uncertainty surrounding the player's status. "We're in a holding pattern," Campbell explained, as reported by ESPN's Eric Woodyard. For the Lions, Montgomery's presence would be a huge boost, considering the impact he has on the team's offensive scheme. On the other hand, the situation regarding John Kaminsky is bleak. The player, who suffered a torn MCL before the start of the season, had hopes of returning by the end of 2024. However, Dan Campbell was blunt in his latest assessment, calling it unlikely that Kaminsky will return this year, according to Pride of Detroit. This news is particularly concerning for the Lions, as the defensive line has been heavily affected by injuries throughout the season. Kaminsky's extended absence further reduces the rotation options on the line, leaving the team at a disadvantage in the upcoming pivotal games. The best news of the week came with an update on Melifonwu, the safety, who was placed on injured reserve with an ankle injury in September and dealt with an additional finger issue after being reactivated, is close to returning to practice. Campbell confirmed that Melifonwu will be designated for return this week, beginning a new phase in his recovery. While it's unclear whether he'll be available for the next game, Campbell was optimistic about his progress. "We'll have him in practice. Do we think he can help us on Sunday? I don't know that right now," the coach said Monday. Melifonwu's return is a strategic one for the Lions, especially after the significant injury to cornerback Carlton Davis. Melifonwu can play in the slot, allowing for tactical adjustments in the secondary, such as moving Amick Robertson to the edge or using Brian Branch in different positions. That flexibility will be essential to contain opposing offenses and bolster a defense that's looking for consistency. In addition to the key updates, Dan Campbell noted that several players, including Brian Branch, will sit out practice this week as a precautionary measure. This reflects the Lions' medical staff's careful approach to preserving players as the season enters its most critical phase. With the uncertainty surrounding Montgomery and the near confirmation of Kaminsky's loss, the Lions will have to rely on emerging talent and depth on their roster. On the other hand, Melifonwu's return could bring new dynamics to the defense and give the team the options needed to face the remaining challenges. The Detroit Lions continue to struggle to maintain their competitiveness while dealing with the adversity of injuries. Fans are eagerly awaiting good news, especially regarding Montgomery, whose recovery could be the deciding factor in the team's ambitions. Meanwhile, Melifonwu's return brings hope for reinforcements on defense, even as the defensive line feels the absence of Kaminsky. The team remains united, focused on overcoming obstacles and finishing the season strong. The Detroit Lions have faced one of the most severe injury crises in recent memory, especially on their defensive line. Currently, of the 18 players on the injured list, a staggering 13 are defensive players, highlighting the scale of the problem. To make matters worse, two of the most impactful names in the sector, Ala McNeil and Carlton Davis, are expected to be sidelined due to serious injuries, leaving the team in an alarming situation on the eve of the final stretch of the regular season. With this wave of adversity, the name of Mike Purcell, veteran defensive tackle and current free agent, emerges as a possible solution. Purcell, who has accumulated 45 starts in his 90-game NFL career, has solid experience and is recognized for his ability to run against opponents. Although he won't bring the same impact as McNeil in pressuring the quarterback, his arrival could provide a crucial respite for a defensive line that suffers from a lack of depth. The pressure within the organization is evident. The Lions are not only looking to strengthen their defensive line, but are also considering adding a cornerback to fill other gaps created by injuries. The Lions' defensive performance, which had been a highlight, is now threatened by the absence of key players. Thus, securing reinforcements could be essential to maintain competitiveness and protect the team's position in the fight for the playoffs. Despite this, there are doubts about the extent to which Purcell would be able to improve the team's pass rush effectiveness, one of the areas critical to defensive success. The fact that he is available as a free agent raises questions about his current level of performance. Still, given the circumstances, the Lions cannot afford to discard a player with his experience. As time unfolds a series of decisive games in the quest for the postseason, the signing of Purcell can be seen as a strategic measure to avoid a defensive collapse. In addition, it can help the Lions maintain a solid foundation of competitiveness amid so many losses, an imperative need for those who dream of a deep run in the playoffs. Share your opinion here in the comments. I really want to know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like to help us continue bringing quality content. I'm counting on you in this one. Prove that you're a big fan of the Detroit Lions. Until next time.